guys, this is Mike Akaviva, Success Catalyst for Young Digital Hustlers, and in today's video I'm going to share 3 different strategies, 3 different methods to help you reduce overwhelm in your day. And this is very powerful if you're an entrepreneur, stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home mom. Either way, this will really help you out. So the first method is actually from Christy Hedges. She wrote this book called The Inspiration Code. I'm reading it right now. It is absolutely incredible. Well, obviously not right now because, I don't have a book in my hand and I don't really, but anyway. So in the book, she shares this idea called double loop learning. I believe it's called double loop learning, and she learned this from someone else. But basically, there's 3 different levels to this concept, and it's assumptions, actions, and results. You see, most people, we just take action. We don't really think about, is this the right thing we should be taking action on? We don't really challenge our belief system. So before you take action on something, if you're feeling overwhelmed, taking action on that project, that task, it's just so like, it's this like overwhelming animal that you have to, you have to conquer. Well, challenge your assumptions first. Is there a better way to do that? Is there, have other people done it a different way? Have other people accomplished that same thing, a different way? Challenge your assumptions. So if there's anything that you can think of that might help you better break down or better understand what you're about to get into, research. Do your research. Talk to people. Figure out the ways how they've actually achieved the same thing. Challenge your assumptions. So that's tip number 1. You can use that for anything. So most people, they just take action and then they have results, and the results may not be, what they expected, and they're stressed out when they're taking action because they're not in the right mindset, because they don't have the right assumptions and belief in what they're doing, because they don't know for a fact that this will work or not. Because they didn't challenge that assumption. So again, assumptions, actions, results. So you got to add the assumption part. Again, don't just take action. All right. So tip number 2 is actually from Tim Ferriss. It is what's called the minimum effective dose. And so this is basically, you figure out what's the most effective way you can accomplish something with the least amount of effort, or what is the best way to achieve your goal without doing like way too much. So it's the minimum effective dose. Now this actually can be applied to my day so far. This morning, I wanted to make some eggs and some bacon. I did, really good. But there's also this recipe in my paleo book to make this paleo bread, and it would require me to go out to the store and get some chia seeds and some almond butter and some coconut oil, which I don't have. But instead, I just made the eggs and bacon. It was the minimum effective dose. I didn't have to go out and get the bread and make it all fancy and everything. It would have probably tasted better, but it was a way for me to eat quickly and get out the door so I can really begin my day. Otherwise I'd be spending hours in the kitchen making this bread. Well, it would only take about an hour, but and then put the egg and everything on it. So, I didn't have to do that, and the nutrients still went in my body. So, what's a way that you can do something to achieve the same result without doing like way too much? So that will definitely reduce overwhelm in your day. And third tip for you is to stop multitasking. Now, I will tell you, my friend, this is something I struggle with greatly. Multitasking is very detrimental to your brain. It's very detrimental to your IQ. It actually lowers your IQ, and it actually makes you really dumb in the end. I don't know about dumb, but it lowers your IQ. People that multitask enough, they're said to have the same effects as like smoking marijuana constantly, or getting drunk, or not having enough sleep. It just is really bad for your brain. It overtaxes your brain. It overstimulates your brain, and you only have so much willpower in the day. Remember that. We only have so much willpower in the day. Everything you focus on drains your willpower. Everything you do drains your willpower, which is why if you find the minimum effective dose and you challenge your assumptions, that would really help you out. But also, stop multitasking. Close certain bars on your internet. Minimize certain tabs that are open, and only have the tabs that are specific for that project that you're working on. Only have those open. And also, just so you know that multitasking, there's no such thing as multitasking. I mean, I just said that there is such thing as multitasking, but it's actually called something else. No, your brain can only focus on one thing at a time, and what you're really doing is something called task switching. You're switching tasks, and you can only devote a certain amount of energy and focus to a single task at a time. And when you multitask, or well, you task switch, it takes about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes to get back your focus, to get back on track to what you were doing before you started multitasking and you started doing a whole bunch of stuff at once. So it takes like 15 to 20 minutes to get back on task when you're scrolling through the internet for some random reason, because you wanted to check the scores of the game, or you wanted to look at this really cool product on Amazon, this really nice DSLR camera. I'm just throwing out some ideas here. and but you need to get work on another project, and then you jump back to Facebook and connecting with people and talking to people. You're overtaxing your brain. So just do one thing at a time, and keep your focus on that one task. And keep 100% focus on one task at a time. Time yourself as well for each task. Now again, this is something I really struggle with because I have ADD, and that's really not an excuse, but I task switch too much all the time. I'm somewhat multitask all the time, just because I am very curious, and I get super stimulated. And overstimulation, by the way, is not a good thing. If you're overly stimulated, you actually lose joy in what you do normally. So if you have a business, and actually I was listening to Tom Shallon. He's a network marketing expert pro, and he has this really great training program. And in this program, he was sharing how he used to be super stimulated by like online poker and stuff like that. And when you're stimulated, you lose that joy, because the stimulation becomes your joy. The stimulation, whatever you're stimulated about, that becomes your new focus. That becomes, your brain gets hardwired to enjoy that more than your business, than connecting with people for your business, stuff like that. So be very careful about overstimulation. Looking at your phone a lot, scrolling through Facebook, online poker. Be very careful about what you allow yourself to be stimulated by, because it can steal your focus, and it will take away the joy in what you do normally. So hope these tips helped you out. These 3 tips. Again, challenge your assumptions before you take action to change your results. Number 2, figure out the minimum effective dose that you need to accomplish whatever you need to work on. And number 3 is to stop multitasking, stop task switching. All right, my friend, take care, have a great day, and